Hello, everyone. Happy Mindful Monday. I'm going to pick up from where I left off last week. We were talking about how to make friends. And so I hope all of you took a good look at your friendship circles and who's around you, where you can maximize your relationships and do better and show up a lot more often. Be intentional about building relationships. And where you are lacking, I hope that you have discovered what might not be working and what you need in your life, or I should say, who you need in your life to help you grow into the person that you want to become. Because the reality will always come down to this: the people around us do influence us, but it also matters where you want to go. It also matters what your goals are. So, how many know that if you're an athlete and you've got friends around you that you just hang out with and they just eat junk food all of the time, it's only a matter of time before it's going to be really hard for you to either continue to spend time with them, or that you'll give in and start eating junk with them. So the trick is to somehow maintain the relationships, and have a healthy balance and stick to your boundaries as well. So those are very healthy things to think about, because often what people do is either they will leave that group of friends entirely even though they have connections there, or they will just sort of give in. And this is where as we continue to build relationships, it becomes really important to understand boundaries and understand who you are, and communicate these boundaries to others. So I was reading some comments. I like to do research and sort of just watch how people are responding to certain comments. And there was this post that someone posted about um, saying that I don't feel sorry, or I will not apologize any longer for having mental health issues. And then from there it kind of which absolutely, like, you don't need to apologize for struggling with mental health, no more than you would need to apologize that you broke your foot. Understanding and ending the stigma there is really important. However, it went further to basically saying, you know if I cancel appointments at the last minute, if I'm a no show, if I don't call you, the individual used to feel really guilty about this and feel the need to really explain themselves, and feel judged for it, or feel afraid that they're letting the other person down. And the person was now saying, I'm no longer going to do that. However, I'm sort of expanding on it, but the one statement sort of gave the impression to some that, um, I don't really care what you think. I don't really care that you feel offended that I didn't show up. And so while I wanted to address this, because while I think that it's really important that we do recognize that mental health is a very serious issue, while we do become people that are more understanding of others when they do struggle, as anyone who is struggling with mental health, I do not believe that it is an excuse to not be a good friend. And I think that was what the statement of it was: I will not apologize for being a crappy friend, or something like that. And I want to speak to this because it really got me thinking, and thinking about how we value ourselves and how we value others. Because the reality is that uh, essentially we want to treat others the way that we want to be treated, right? So if we're looking for acceptance and for mercy when we miss it, and for that care when we need the help, and for someone to be there when we need them to be there, then we need to be able to put the same effort out there for towards someone else. So saying something like, I'm not going to apologize for being a crappy friend, uh, while the connotation of that is, I don't need to feel guilty about the fact that I'm struggling with a downtime, or I need to do what I need to do to look after me, or that I'm struggling with a mental health issue right now. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. However, it is essential that we communicate to our friends so that they know that they're cared for, and let them know, I'm struggling with this thing right now. I need some time alone right now. I don't feel that I'm able to cope right now. And this in turn gives them the opportunity to be there for you, because a lot of people struggle with acceptance. It's a basic human need. And the person on the other end who does not know may interpret that as you're not interested, they may feel rejected, they may not understand why their time is not valued. So it really goes a long way that when we need something, we really need to learn to communicate it. If we want something, we need to learn to communicate it. And basically, the same courtesy that you would want someone to share with you, because nobody wants to book off their entire day or set up apart an appointment, and it's hard to get out and then have somebody not show up with no warning. But if the person is aware that this could sometimes happen, perhaps now it gives them the opportunity to ask the questions, to be there, but also plan in a way that they're not largely inconvenienced and can also cope and move on in those moments. So, communication is key in friendships, key in relationships, and genuine care for one another, not using what we go through as an excuse to harm others, but realizing that everyone has feelings and everybody is valuable. And we can do our best to not only care for ourselves but also care for them, and say it's absolutely nothing is wrong if you need to take the day off, or you need to say, you know what, I'm feeling overwhelmed right now, because a good friend will understand and will probably have a day where they will need that same kind of care and mercy as well. Have a great one. Enjoy your week.